Happy Friday, guys. Today I have all these amazing vegetables here because we are going to eat the rainbow. We have carrots and mushrooms and spinach, basil. We have all the good things going on with a bunch of cheese in it, so that makes it even better. So, we turn this off, right, Ebbs? Okay. We already have one of these in the oven to show you for after it's done because this is going to go in and bake, so it wouldn't be done in time. So of course I go ahead and I made one. It's also going to be this special tonight at the restaurant, and that one's already made and it's there and it's ready for everybody. So today's a beautiful day in South Carolina. It's sunny. It's in the 60s. 2 days ago it was rainy in the 40s, so it's been up and down, up and down. We have to take advantage of it when it is. I'm wearing my sunflowers. Track was wearing his sunflowers. He'll be back over in a minute. But I wanted to give a shout out to Gloria because she sent Tracker all these beautiful, look at these bandanas. He's got his sunflowers on too. She sent him all these bandanas to match me. And I just wanted to thank you, Glo. And she made me this amazing apron for next week for St. Patty's Day. So I'm definitely going to wear that next week. I'm excited. It's also my birthday next week, so you got to tune in. Okay, so we're going to get started. We're actually going to make, like I said, a vegetarian dish today. And sometimes I think I could be a vegetarian. I love them so much. But then I think I would miss my meatballs and sausage and stuff. So that's probably not a good sign of a vegetarian. But I do love them, and we're going to incorporate them in a meal today, which also is good for adults and kids. Because anytime you can hide a vegetable with cheese, it's a perfect dish for kids. Unless you're like my mom, she made me sit at the table until they were done and would turn off the light, and I would still be sitting there lastly at the table to eat vegetables. Beets, actually, and I still don't eat them. Okay, so this is the menu. It has 3 different parts to it. So we're going to make a cheese mixture, we're going to make a vegetable mixture, and then we're going to make a bechamel. That's going to be the sauce that ties everything together. And the bechamel sauce I put on here, but I actually put it in my cookbook. I have a chapter of sauces in there, so you'll be able to get all the ones that we've made in the videos. This is such a simple one. It's basically 4 ingredients, so nice and easy, and it adds a lot of richness to the dish. So speaking of the cookbook, it's coming out soon. We finalized everything yesterday, and I'm so excited about it. We're going to be taking pre-orders for it, so if you are interested in having one, just write me a little note, a little message in the comments, or message me on Facebook. I'll be happy to put your name on a list. We're shooting for the first week or maybe mid of May. So I'm an impatient person, and I'm thinking, well, I'm done. Why can't we print it? But it takes a little longer. So we're going to get through the next month and a half and shoot for then, and I'm so excited. Okay, so let's get going. This is not a hard recipe, but like I said, there's a couple different steps. First step you should do is you would put on a pot of boiling salted water, and you would put in lasagna noodles. I already went through and I already made my lasagna noodles. Actually, the cooks at Amici's made them last night. So these are not the kind we use at the restaurant. These are the kind from the box with the curly edge that you remember as a child. Now today they have fresh pasta sheets. They have no-bake ones. You could definitely use the no-bake ones. They're quick. But I like the curly ones. I just wanted to go ahead and show you, they do take a while, at least 10, 12 minutes to cook these. So while these are boiling away, you could go ahead and you can start on these. So we're going to go through and we're going to saute some vegetables. And we start with 2 tablespoons of oil. And I always say 2 turns around the pan is 2 tablespoons. That's how I would like to think of it. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in mushrooms. We have 2 cups of already cut mushrooms. These are just white button mushrooms. Those are easy. We're going to put those in. And I actually got the pan started nice and early this time. So we're going to use a 9x13 casserole dish. You might be thinking, wow, this is a lot of mushrooms for that, but they cook down, everything cooks down, and I like my layers thick in lasagna. I don't like thin lasagna. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the carrots, and it says 1.5 cups of shredded carrots. These really, by far, are the best carrots to make in recipes because they're thin and they cook fast. Otherwise, you're shredding and you're chopping. Really, Trex? I just sat for a half an hour with a cup of coffee and literally rubbed this dog with his belly rub. And so he's still not done and he wants more, right? Okay, so we have those going. And we're going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in them. Now, anytime you put salt into vegetables, it brings out their natural juices and it makes them sweat in the pan so they cook faster. So that's always a good secret to remember, is to put the salt and pepper in with your veggies while they're sauteing. It's going to bring out all those natural flavors. There's the salt and the pepper. So we're just going to give these a little swirl around. Love this pan. Sounds great too, doesn't it? Excuse you, mister. A lot of people write to me and they tell me how much they love Tracker, but I gotta tell you guys, Tracker is not mine. Tracker is Abby's. She rescued him back in July. July, and he has just been such a doll.
He's everyone's.
He's a good boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna put in one medium onion, all diced up. So that's gonna go in as well. Smells good already, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, remember when I said whenever you have like a red dish in the Italian cuisine, you could easily make it white as well. So here's one of those examples. So lasagna is made with classic marinara and the 3 different cheeses. And now we're going to make a white one. So we made white shells with chicken. We've made spaghetti with spaghetti JJ with chicken and carbonara. So anytime there's something red, you can flip it and make it into white. So it's always a great alternative. We have a lot of people that come in and they're like, I don't like red sauce. Okay, well, we'll find you something with white. Not a problem. Okay, those are cooking down. The last thing we're going to put in there is actually spinach, but it cooks so fast. I just don't want it to get overcooked because then it gets really wilty. So while we're waiting on that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start our bechamel sauce. So this one is this one, right? Okay. I can't wait to get my new stove. I'm going to have to learn it all over again too. Okay, so the bechamel is basically 1 stick of butter. I use unsalted. We're going to put that in the pan and we're going to let that start to melt. My little vegetarian one here, I love it. Okay, and so we're going to let this melt down and we're going to add some flour to it. And this is your classic bechamel sauce. The flour is raw, so when you add it to the butter, it cooks it. All right, we'll let that go and stir these around. These are cooking down really fast. Mushrooms cook fast, onions. If you wanted to put garlic in here, now would be the time to put like 2 tablespoons of garlic or 2 teaspoons of garlic. Never put garlic directly on the oil itself because it burns, and once it burns, it's bitter. So always lay it on top of something else and let it cook that way. So those are cooking down. We have our flour here, so and the milk for the bechamel. It's going to use 2 cups of milk and a half a cup of flour, and we're going to whisk it. There we go. So we're letting this melt down. I think we've served this before at the restaurant, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've made it in a video too.
Vegetable lasagna?
No, bechamel.
Oh, I thought I was going to say, don't tell me. I'm repeating myself here.
No, I think you're good.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we have a million things that we could cook together. Yes, I've made bechamel before, and that's why I wanted to put it in the cookbook, because it is one of those sauces that you could use with a lot of things. You can even use it in like sweet dishes as well. Okay, so these are coming together really good. They're nice and soft already. We're just going to give the carrots a little bit more time before we add in the spinach. Our butter is basically all melted, and then we're going to pour our flour in here, and we're going to continually whisk it. So I'm going to put that in, and it's going to cook the flour. Because like I said, the flour is raw. So this will just take away actually that raw flour taste in it. And it's going to start to taste a little bit nutty, like a little bit of like a grainy taste. Just keep going here. Is he snoring?
No, just moaning and groaning.
Alrighty, so we're cooking this just for like 2 minutes. You just want to be constant about it though, because we don't want to brown the butter. We just want it to cook this flour down. And we're gonna stir here, stir a little bit more of the veggies. This looks so good. Now, also guys, you know, if you didn't want to do mushrooms, like Abby can't really eat mushrooms, stomach aches, so you know, don't have to put those in. But if you wanted to put something else, if you wanted to put broccoli in, or even like cherry tomatoes would be a good substitution. You could put cooked asparagus. So, you know, all these things have to be cooked down first in this mixture before you just go add them to lasagna, because they'll take longer to cook than the lasagna itself. So, okay, that's done, and what we're going to add to it now is 2 cups of whole milk, because you want that fullness of it. So it's starting to become thick, and that's what you want. Keep stirring, don't stop. You got to get those lumps out of there. It's a great way to make a gravy. See how it's like all coming together now? And I like to add it in slowly because it'll all seize up and stop cooking if I add it like that. You should, this is room temperature. And then for this, we're just gonna add into it a little salt and pepper. You can use white pepper on this. That would certainly be very pretty, and it has such a nice mild flavor. But I'm just gonna use the old standard black. And then the one spice I'm going to put into it is nutmeg. I'll take the handle over here. That's classic in a bechamel is nutmeg. Oops, it's gonna be hard to clean off. These are very hard, these cooktops to clean off, huh? I remember. Look how beautiful this is, guys. So rich and velvety. We can actually turn the flame off because it's done. I'm going to move it to a different burner. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my nutmeg. Now, if you had the fresh nutmeg, you could grate it on a microplaner. But one of these in the can is just fine. And this is basically 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. I'm a fanatic with it. It adds a lot of warmth to dishes. So I like to taste it. I actually added it to a soup that I made this week at the restaurant, and everybody thought the flavor was great, and they couldn't figure out what it was. So I'm going to leave it like that.
Which one was it?
The tortellini with the sausage and the cream.
Oh, I didn't have it.
Yeah, I added nutmeg into it, and it was fantastic. Okay, these are done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add our spinach. And you're like, geez, JJ, that's a lot of spinach. Nope, it's going to cook down. It's going to steam down, and it's going to be good. So we're just going to stir these in there. Okay, we have one more little step to go. Just going to incorporate them in there. Turn this down. And that's going to mix all our cheeses now. So in this bowl, you have one more thing to do. We're going to do 2 cups of ricotta cheese. I like whole milk. If I'm eating food, I want all that rich goodness in there. You know, I'm not going to use skim or, you know, part skim or all that. I want the full fat. Okay, so this is 1 cup of ricotta, and this is going to be the second, so it's 2 cups of this. This is where the real richness comes in, because it's going to be, I'm just dropping everything all over today. Good thing I'm not in the kitchen tonight. Okay, 2 cups of ricotta. We're done with that. And then, I'm just going to throw that back in there. And then we're going to put in an egg, 1 egg we have. And this is going to bind it. Throw that over there. We're going to put in half a cup of Parmesan cheese, half a cup of Parmesan cheese in here. And this is fresh Parmesan grated. And then we're going to put in, is it 2 cups of, I'm trying to follow this recipe. See, I never write recipes down, guys. I apologize. This is just shredded mozz. We're going to put that in as well. So we're just going to stir this all together. And it's going to get all nice and combined. And to this mixture, and the egg is what really makes it a little bit richer. It adds that to it. So we've got 3 cheeses here. We've got the creamy bechamel, and then we have those veggies that we sauteed. So that's our 3 different steps. Yeah, you can stir that spinach in there. We've got all this done. And this is pretty much how we make our lasagna at the restaurant. You know, we do this step right here, and then we add the bechamel. And then we actually add bolognese into ours. We do a meat lasagna. I think everybody seems to really love it.
One of our best sellers.
That's for sure. We make big pans and pans and pans of it. Okay, a little bit of salt. Look at that. It's beautiful, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The combination is very, very pretty. Here is some ground black pepper. And my last ingredient I want to put on here is basil. I just like to get that little bit of freshness in. You can just tear the leaves in. You don't have to cut them. Just tear them up, put them in, nice and rustic. Just going to add one more layer here, and it's going to add this a little bit of greenness. See how pretty? Okay, now I'm going to show you, I'm going to move all of this out of the way here, and we're going to begin to layer our lasagna. So we're actually going to give this to a friend today, so we're going to put it in this take-along pan. And these are actually good to make at home too. I mean, a lot of people don't like that cleanup and stuff, so you can definitely just use one of these. And we have our pasta. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to spray this, even though we're going to put a small layer of the bechamel on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and spray this. And that's done, so we could turn this off. Look at that spinach. It doesn't even look, there's hardly any. And that was a whole big bag, guys. Look at that. And here's our bechamel. We're just going to touch this back up. Excuse me, trucks. All right, so we're all nice and spread out here. Good thing you got a nice big counter, Abby.
Sure.
All right, all done. Let's get a one of these, maybe. Yeah. All right, we're going to put a little bit of the bechamel on the bottom of the pan, and we're just going to spread it out here. It just has to be like a real. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. If you are a person that suffers from, what is that, OCD?
Yeah.
This might not be the dish for you because this does not have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, you know. Okay, and now we're going to add our pasta in here. And basically, I think this is just gonna take 3. And the good thing about lasagna, it's very forgiving. You know, if you have a torn one like this, just put it together. It'll all work out well. And there's the 3rd layer. Next, we're gonna put on this cheese mixture. And we're just going to put it like this and go right on down each noodle. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. Okay. This is something you can even do with your kids. I mean, just let them go. Let them put this together and let them learn to cook young. And it stays with them forever. Isn't that right, Abs?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take some of our vegetables, and we're just going to spread them in there. This looks so nice. Basically, this is going to be a 3-layer lasagna. So we can go ahead and fill this layer up. Look at that. Delish. And just a little bit there. We'll put that here. And next we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the bechamel. And we're just going to go ahead and this is going to spread while it cooks. So again, just go on down. And this, while it heats, it's going to get all melted in. And we're going to put that in there. And you want to do like pretty much half, because this layer is not going to be on, this is not going to be on the top layer. We're going to put some down here. The nutmeg. It's warming up and it smells really good. Okay, next thing we're going to do again, another layer. So we're going to do this again. You can kind of push them down into place, make sure everything's not all bunched up. Here's another one. And like I said, you know, if you don't have a perfect noodle, that's fine. It all works out in the end. Okay, and then again, we're going to do our last layer here. I like thick layers. I don't like this thin lasagna. And we're going to,
The one in the oven is like 55 pounds. It's insane.
well, that's a good one.
It's like 4 layers deep, that thing.
Well, you got to enjoy it, you know? Okay, and then we're going to do vegetables again on top of this. You know, I know even though this is a vegetarian dish, it's a very, very good, rich dish. And I really think that kids will love this. Like I said, play around with the veggies. If you don't think they'll like them, put something else in. You can put tomatoes in if you want, if you think that's best. Okay, and we're going to try to end up with a cheese layer on the top. Spread these around, right? And then we're going to do our bechamel. And then it's going to be pretty much a done deal. Put the top layer on. I'm going to go like this and just spread it around. There we go. All right, and then we're going to put the top. Look at this. So it takes exactly 9 noodles.
Yep.
9 noodles. And then you can finish up with your cheese layer on the top. Spread it out. We gotta get that one out of the oven. I cannot wait to see it. We even put it under the broiler at the last minute. So, okay, so we have all that cheese on the top here. Now you would put it into a 375 oven, and you covered it first with
Foil.
Aluminum foil, and then we're gonna just put the rest of this cheese on the top, and the rest of this Parmesan cheese. Cover it with foil. 375, about 40 minutes. This is definitely gonna take about 40 minutes. This is nice, rich. Look how thick this is. This is gonna be a great lasagna. Now we get to see the finished product. I got to pull it out of here. I don't know if I got the muscles for this. All right.
Track will help you.
Chuck, you gonna help me get this out of the oven, buddy? I don't think so. He knows it's hot, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me show you what a big tray looks like when it's all done. Do you want to cut a little corner?
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I baked it today.
That is true. We will munch down on this. I was looking for a serrated one. Oh, okay, that's perfect. All right, we are going to try a little corner here because we want to show you. Give me a fork, baby. What this is made of. Who knew veggies and cheese could be so good? But then again, anything with pasta is absolutely delicious. We're going to try to cut all of the pasta there. And there is I can use this one. No, let me get that one. I'm going to try to do this. There we go. See the mushrooms and stuff in it? So good. Look at the ooey gooey cheese in here, guys. I'm ready to try this.
Put it down.
All right. Yeah, I know you have a
The
hard time.
hardest part.
See, it's the mushrooms, the carrots, the spinach, all together. All the cheese mixture. Guys, you got to make this. It's delish. This is like a nice, cool afternoon dinner. Hot.
Yeah, you do this every week to me.
We cooked it an hour ago.
I know.
It's so good.
I love that bechamel sauce.
Isn't it good?
Mm-hmm.
Shrek, you falling asleep? You can't have this. We did give him a little bit of pasta earlier. He had a little taste of lasagna already.
Dang, that's good.
It's good, guys. Look how nice and delicious this is. You have the golden top from the oven. All the vegetables inside there under the layers. You taste the basil and the nutmeg. Give it a try. I'm going to post a recipe for you guys. We have this whole pan now that we have to somehow eat. But if you want to try it, come to Amici's tonight. It's going to be our special with a really nice Italian rainbow cake. So we'll see you later. Have a good weekend.